Today we're talking about Cyberpunk's latest patch, some weird Xbox controllers, and a tiny update on Cyberpunk's expansion. Back in February, CD Projekt Red made significant progress towards their redemption arc with the 1.5 update of Cyberpunk 2077, an update that proved to be a substantial overhaul for the sci-fi shooter. Well, now the game has received a new update, 1.52, that continues to tweak several lingering issues. While it's not as massive as the previous update, there's a significant number of improvements. In the gameplay department, issues related to missing loot, broken animations, and teleporting wrecked cars have been fixed. Console-specific fixes include addressing corrupted saves being imported from PS5 to PS4, as well as Xbox Series X and S controller disconnects no longer resulting in a player being stuck, and wet roads should have an accurate amount of reflection on the PS5 version that's comparable to the PC edition of the game. Okay, come clean. Who was the person who complained to CDPR about that last one? Or was it just a Reddit thread that was like, roads not wet enough or roads too wet on PS5? It reminds me of Puddlegate from Spider-Man PS4. Other fixes include clearing bugs in quests like Automatic Love and Path to Glory, as well as your vehicle spawning closer to V when it's summoned. You can see a full list of the fixes in the link below. And before we move on to our next CDPR story, Sweat and snacks are going to be all in that fur. These custom Xbox controllers are not being offered for sale commercially, but fans can enter a sweepstakes to win them. The controllers come in Sonic Blue and Knuckles Red, and their standout feature are the coatings meant to represent the bristly texture of real-world hedgehogs. However, if I knew nothing about the Sonic movie, my first thought would be that this is an Elmo controller and a Cookie Monster controller, but maybe that's just me. Let me know in the comments if you really want this pair of controllers and why. But alright, back to CDPR news. Yesterday, the studio announced a new Witcher game is in development and will be built using Unreal Engine 5, but it won't be exclusive to Epic Games Store on PC. The studio's partnership with Epic also doesn't mean it will abandon its own REDengine anytime soon. CD Projekt said in a statement that the upcoming expansion for Cyberpunk 2077 will be developed using REDengine instead of Unreal 5. Which totally makes sense. I mean, I've never developed a game before, but I assume having your base game in one engine and your expansion in a totally different one will probably break the experience completely, and that's not something you want while you're on your redemption arc. Come on. Unfortunately, there still isn't any official details about what the expansion will focus on or when it will be released. Cyberpunk's post-launch development roadmap was delayed so the studio could focus on improving the base game. CD Projekt Red is also developing a PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S version of The Witcher 3 Wild Hunt, and is scheduled for release during Q2, which is April through June. And speaking of The Witcher, the new director for the next game in the series reacted to concerns about mandatory crunch at CDPR, a reported problem that plagued the development of both Cyberpunk 2077 and The Witcher 3. In a response to a tweet, developer Jason Slama said, quote, "Never on my watch," promising better conditions for those hired to work on the new title. Since those initial reports of crunch, CD Projekt Red has been putting work into changing their workplace culture, with a 2021 strategy update saying that the studio was working hard to minimize stress, prevent burnout, and give its employees everything they need to focus on the work with a fully positive mindset. But okay, the video's over, but like really, for real, do you really want those fuzzy controllers? Why do you want those fuzzy controllers? I know people collect controllers, but like, is it just for collecting? Does anyone plan on using those controllers? I'm sorry, I'm gonna be thinking about this all day. I'll see you tomorrow.